Hello and welcome to you out there in the world, to all those places I cannot travel to right now, in this moment in time. What does that mean? We need to blow open the borders, don't we? Well, there's a time for all of that, and let's hope that is what we can achieve. I wanted to do a video update, just to make you aware that I'm still alive, and I'm doing fine as it gets, and I want to dip a little bit into the enlightenment process, or the process of awakening, and what that entails. And I've put together a few pictures, again, to explain a few ideas, and I don't know what I'm gonna come up with. Let's see how the Earth transmissions, the intelligence of the Earth and my greater being, what informations come through, and I'm sharing all of this with you also from a personal experience level and what I'm going through right now, because you know what? I don't care what people think about me. So if I'm in a bad mood and I'm not 100% aligned with my greater being that is full of joy, that is full of powerful energy, full of power, ready to take on anyone across time and space. That's my greater being, and your greater being, you listening to this here too, your greater being can take it on with anyone. However, not at any time, and right now I'm going through a little bit of a low phase. However, I always feel better when I do a video and share what I'm going through. So let's dip into the slides and not waste any more time talking about nonsense. That is not what we want. We want clear information and a little bit of a different perspective to all of the craziness going on outside of us. Alright, so life in the Matrix. This is how I feel right now. It's a fucking pathetic, beautiful, toxic, liberating, healing, disgusting, ridiculous, and amazing journey. And sometimes I really think someone is taking the piss out of me. Why the freaking hell am I here? So, to share a little bit about this state of consciousness, it drives you mad, and I'll get into that later in the slides. It drives you mad, and this is really sometimes how I feel, to be totally honest. This is life in the Matrix. And in this state, my conditioned mind that runs under trauma-based mind control, mental and emotional mind control, takes over my being, my vessel, my body, my mind, and blocks the connection to my higher state of vibration, to my higher state of being that I call my greater being, whose connection they want to sever through the use of the V into the arm. And I have to speak like that in order to not get censored by this pathetic platform that I'm still on, which is another reason why I feel as portrayed in the picture of still being on this stupid censorship communist platform. Alright? Good. That being said, that's also how I feel these days. And I can tell you, I was part of a group of people who I thought were my friends, and it ain't that easy. It ain't that easy to build a community. And I'm not someone to share time or spend time with people I don't like spending time with. So in this moment of time, I don't know how you guys feel. All the ladies and gentlemen listening to this, how do you feel about seeing that? Because that's how I feel right now. I'm all alone. I'm all alone. I have wonderful beings in my life, but I can count them on one hand, and that includes my family. To all others, I've severed my connection with, and that's my choice. And sometimes I feel very disempowered. I have no friends, and normally throughout my life, I would have lots of friends, including a few months ago still, lots of friends. And now I'm all alone, and this is what life is also all about. Be like water, flow with it. And to be quite honest, I'm actually okay being alone right now until I'll get into some trapped emotions come up again and I get all angry, and this is when I'm all alone, and this is the other side of me, where on the one hand I feel separated from all other beings, no connection with, except for a few. As I say, it's not that I'm completely all alone, but this is how it often feels, that I'm all alone. And then I also count myself as one of those who are exposing that which has been and is coming for us right now. And what is that death cult? I want to get into that. Yeah, and from being all alone, I lose energy, I lose confidence in myself, and it's not a nice thing to not have any friends, and then have the power to take on dark forces when you don't have a community, a proper community around you, supporting you. So that I'm sharing all of this with you, because to speak it out loud and to reveal it, push it to the surface, because I have no stake in all of this, okay? I'm not someone who's gonna tell you all is rosy and, oh, enlightenment is so great, when it's not. Enlightenment is a destructive process. And I can feel that right now. So at the moment, it can happen that I go to bed at 9 o'clock in the evening already, because I have no joy for life anymore, and I'm quite happy to let this day pass away, which is very sad. However, that's the darkness I find myself in right now, and maybe I'm not clever enough. Maybe I should be more intelligent to not fall into these dark phases, but I do. And I'm also very aware of what it means to be in darkness, because I've spent in darkness most of the time in the last 10 years. And unfortunately, it's liberation from the ego identification and being ruled by programs that were given to you, and not living the life that you want to live, but living the life of desires that are not even really your desires from a greater being. When you break out of that, which is when you are on this journey of enlightenment or journey of awakening, however you want to call it, a lot of things fall away, and it is a destructive process. So because I don't want to be in this dark phase for the sake of the people around me, because I can be quite dark, let me tell you. I'm not always a friendly human being. I can be very dark, and I can be like a little child that has never gotten the love that it wanted. That's how I can also be, and I can be quite a bitch, I have to say. And still you learn that this is also a learning lesson, and every day is a new start. And love is the healing. Love that inner child that is just coming to the surface with all the wounds in order to be healed. What I'm talking about here is the swinging pendulum. The swinging pendulum that swings left and right and isn't in a state of balance, of being like any Buddhist monk that you see who's all immersed into meditation and cannot be taken out of that meditative state. The swinging pendulum is our state of being inside of us, the swinging pendulum of emotions. And emotion is energy in motion. And when we absorb and we integrate the emotions that are trapped within the body that come up, then we gain access to more energy and we're more powerful. Because of that, that's the power we seek. So instead of seeking power outside of us, okay, you get a lot of energy and power from the sun, for example, as can be seen with me here right now. I'm looking into the sun. And you see, from that light comes the shadow also. So that's me also. So you won't always get me in the perfect state. In actual fact, you get me now in my true state, where I just like to speak about emotions and the dark side of life. That is also part of it. And those swings of the pendulum, they get triggered by this insane freaking world that we live in. And it is absolutely an insane world, and sometimes I really have to ask the question, why did I even come into this mess? Why did I come into this stupid system where I'm being told by idiots in uniform what to do, being fined by psychopaths, pathetic little morons that are as far away from the natural order as can be. And then I ask myself, why? Why do I put myself through all of this? This is stupid. It wasn't a good idea, let me tell you. It wasn't a good idea. And I'm talking from my ego personality of this world, only knows what this world is all about. I say, from this little me perspective, what a stupid idea to come here. However, there's no way getting out now, is there? Life is falling down 7 times and getting up 8 times, and I will get up again now. That's why I'm doing this video, which will make me get up again and again and again. And even if it looks absolutely like nothing ever changes, and the psychopaths just keep ruling always, the dark force wins always, maybe a sign that the awakening is happening is that they're pulling the agenda so quickly and so fast. That's me these days. Lots of anger. Even the other day while I was cooking, I completely lost it. And I went upstairs and cried my heart out, screaming, "Argh!" Like going absolutely mental. And if someone would have seen that, they would have called the fucking psychiatrics and have me put somewhere where I can't, just, put me somewhere because I'm a little bit crazy. It's not like the whole society outside of me is crazy. But yes, also me, I'm also crazy. Because why is the outside triggering me so much? The outside and the inside are one holistic system. And when we say we're on the journey of awakening from what? A dream. So, this means that this reality that we experience is dreamlike. And we're being asked to wake up from this dream. However, when the deeper how do we come out of it? There's layers of this dream, as was also portrayed in the movie Inception. There's different layers of this dream, and this corresponds with our emotional state of being, because an awakening can only happen from the inside out. And for that, we need to dissolve all the blocked emotions, all those blocked emotions of anger, of fear, of frustration, of sadness, of shame. Shame on you that you are who you are. You can be ashamed of yourself, and that is your original sin for being who you are in this world. That shame, that guilt, that frustration, that anger, and that sadness is the real bubble of the Matrix. It's a mental and emotional mind control operation. That is the Matrix. And we're trapped in the Matrix through the craziness inside of us, which can be reflected and seen outside of us. But we cannot change that outside. We cannot change that outside, similar as we cannot change the movie screen from where the movie is being projected from. We need to go to the projector level of our being. Inside our being, our body, mind, and spirit, and our soul. That connection, strengthening that connection, is what is gonna change the outwardly projected movie on the screen. But often, I know all of that cognitively, mentally. I have this knowledge. However, my emotions, the trapped emotions and the emotional trauma from my childhood that I cannot even remember anymore, are still stronger than my will. That's why I'm still in the bubble of the Matrix. However, as I said in the last video, breakdown is breakthrough. So whenever you break down and you're down and sick and tired of this world which you have every reason to be. Realize that life is founded upon a paradoxon. So breakdown is breakthrough and every crisis is a chance. And the tyranny emerging is the chance for freedom. If the tyranny weren't emerging, then freedom would not be a possibility, because we wouldn't be pushed out of our comfort zones in order to realize that we've been living in an insane world ever since we came in here. And now this has just been unveiled with the situation we find ourselves in. And it all has to do with us. As I said, we can only transform this situation on the movie screen that is our external reality by transforming from the inside of where the movie is being projected from, which is inside of us. Our mind, body and spirit and soul. And there's a soul harvesting program going on this planet, which can be seen through the V agenda and the needle, of which you know what I mean. The number one thing being talked about right now. This is trying to disconnect us from our soul connection to the connection of our greater being and the connection of stronger forces than this hidden force that I'm showing to you. The hidden force of mind control. And it's a very deceptive force. We're going far beyond all of these manipulators, like Killgate, or the whole lot of them. These psychopaths. Beyond all of them, there is a very evil force. And in Latin American shamanism in South America is called the Wetiko, which is the real virus. Wetiko. In other cultures it's called differently. Also the Gnostics call it the Archons. However, I like the expression Wetiko, and I've also, because of a recommendation of a lovely woman from Croatia, thank you very much, who wrote a very kind email to me. She gave me the tip of Dispelling Wetiko, ordering that book, which I did after listening to an interview by the author, Peter Levy, I think his name is. And this is what the real virus is. And now get this, what I picked up on the interview that I listened to. And I've already delved deeply into this subject in previous videos. However, I want to do a whole video on this because it's crucial to know thyself and know the enemy. And how do these things connect with each other? How does the supposed enemy connect with me as a human being? Know thyself and know the enemy. However, this virus, the Wetiko virus, does not have an independent existence. So therefore, it actually doesn't exist. It's actually an illusion. That makes us create an illusional, fictional reality of enslavement that is called the Matrix. How weird is that? That something that doesn't actually exist can make us live in this world where we're being told by idiots to do what they tell us to do. That's quite the paradoxon. However, the coronavirus being brought into worldwide collective conscious attention, the virus theme being brought out throughout the world is actually exists as the core problem that we have in the world. So I'm not talking about if this virus really exists biologically, having been purified and all that. I think you know my opinion on that. Speaking about exosomes and all that, it's never been isolated, okay? However, the notion of the virus being out there in the global public's attention now reflects a truth, which is that the biggest problem we have in the world is a virus, and the nature of that virus is mental. It's a mind virus. And I give the recommendation to listen to the interview I'm gonna post underneath this video and check out the work of Levy, Dispelling Wetiko, and check out his website also for further information on this, because that's a really good sign that this is now on the radar and in the conscious attention of everyone around the world, is that there is a virus. However, what is that virus and how do we heal that core problem from which that problem then has to cease to exist? How do we do that? And as I had in my last ramble, in my live stream, I'm sorry that I want to keep my live streams a little bit shorter. However, I'm always over more than an hour, and I try to not float away too much and stay on point. This is something that I want to focus on more. But what I had there as the main picture is that the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek, by Joseph Campbell. And this is what's gonna make a difference in this world. To enter the cave. Because by entering it, as portrayed here with Plato's cave, entering it, really knowing why we are observing the shadow projections on the wall. Who is projecting Wetiko inside of us? Through our mental capacities, through the thoughts that we're thinking, and the emotions that are being triggered through what's happening outside of us. Maybe we need to really enter that cave, as it's said in this quote. Maybe we really need to enter that cave and face that fear to find the treasure that we seek, which is this new world based on the new paradigm that we're all yearning for. Yearning for. I want to live in freedom. However, I know I need to get my shit together and enter that cave. Where am I projecting? Ask yourself. Where am I running away from my life's lessons, my learning lessons? Where am I looking as someone to blame outside? Blame the public that are getting the V, blame the politicians, blame the black magicians, blame the orchestrators of this catastrophe, this mind control operation. Maybe It's all trying to teach us something, that the virus is the problem that is inside of us, and we need to heal that virus. According to Levi, Wetiko, in a holistic sense, this mind virus is the poison and the cure at the same time, in correspondence with the holistic, hermetic view of reality, that everything is one. Everything is one consciousness and one spirit, experiencing itself subjectively. And we can only heal the situation from inside out. And then once we go into that cave, we face our fears and we put our anger out, not on the other people, but go out in the forest and like really just walk and just get it out there. We can dissolve those trapped emotions in our body and burst that bubble for once, for real. And then there won't have to be a satanic death cult that we have to face and expose anymore, because we will have exposed it by realizing that the virus was inside of us. It's an incredibly insidious force, and it is driving us crazy to the point where this represents a feeling and the state of being that I find myself in my life. However, once we can get a grip on what the real problem really is, and it's beyond the Satan's schwabs and the kills of the gates of hell, it's beyond that and something inside of us. That's why the outside world is triggering us. We heal that virus. And then the problem has to cease to exist, and we get out of the cave and live in freedom. Alright, a little bit of a different video. Today you heard me pissed off a little bit, but I think I stayed on a good vibration, and yeah, that's what you're gonna get. Just me, okay? I'm not always happy, and I make my dedication, I enter into that cave and find the treasure that I seek, because I've had enough of this bullshit. Much love to you, and take very good care. Till next time, see ya.